GM. G fucking M. Right, Sunday swings is obviously on Tuesday. Or Monday late, if you live in America. I don't, but, you might. So, apologies for the later video. I recorded one yesterday, and it was supposed to be finished. I went to the gym, completed a absolutely inhumane workout, go home at around 9, like 8, did all that stuff, and then I thought, okay, do it in the morning. So, that's why. But this is basically a retake of this. That video was like 30 minutes long, and the audio is recorded, the video is recorded, but I was like, nah, it's probably going to be best if I just run through the Sunday swings pairs and leave it at that instead of watching me mark it up. So that's what we're doing through now. So this is the readiest pair of the day. So this is day 65 of Becoming a Profitable Trader, by the way. Nearly forgot that again. So yes, day 65, and we'll start right off with Euro GDP. Euro GDP. This pair is looking quite nice to go short, but I'm going to put this on the daily so you can see everything. So as you can see, weekly retrace back into a weekly area of interest. This right here, so I can mark it up here. This, so weekly area of interest. As you can see here, retrace back inside of it with a push, and this especially very much did the same, which was push down, then a push up into the weekly area of interest. So this would be weekly/daily area of interest, and for a potential down move, breaking the lower low, going downwards. And we could take profits at levels around here or here, depends on where weekly is standing. But weekly would say right around here or here. It depends. And my mouse is having a freak out. There. This one here is also very much viable. It would take longer, and you would have to be a bit brave to do that, but with my strategy, usually I can take it off that. But again, we shall see if it actually does play out, because sometimes these things don't play out and saves me from a loss or a trade that was never supposed to happen in the first place. So, let's go. As you can see, this retraced back up down. 4 hour broke the higher low here, which is a signal for me. Oh, time to maybe start looking for an entry. So that is what we're doing here. And broke lower than it did before. I counted this as an elbow. If you can see here, I definitely counted this because my rule is always, if the charts looked something like so, let's say it looked like that, right? Just like that. And the next candle came out of nowhere and did that. Would you count that as an elbow or that as an elbow? Well, it's pretty much the same thing. It shouldn't be discretionary. It should be, okay, if there's a massive ass candle here next, like so, you would count this as the elbow, right? So, in the very same similar magic, here, I counted this as an elbow. It's not, oh, now that this did the thing, I'm not going to count it as an elbow because suddenly now you have all this stuff. No. Just leave it as it is. This was an elbow, so now it's bullish. End of story, right? There's no magic needed with that. It's just end of story. Cool. So if it breaks below the higher low, I'm definitely looking for a trade on this. Next, Euro USD. Euro USD. We've got this, but it's going long. However, there is a slight problem. This went bullish, as you can see right around, where was it? Or was it another pair that went bullish? I think it might have been another pair. But regardless, this is quite outside our area of interest, but if this somehow managed to break above or do something like have this here, then break it, and then break above this, because we need to have a break above this, we're not going to have anything else, and then retrace back down to here, then this could be a potential trade. However, this is much more for like a Thursday thing, because there's simply just not enough volume. Look at this. This was Friday last week here. Do you know how much volume had to go through all this stuff? So is it going to be ready this week? I have no idea. It might be ready next week. We shall see. Yes, same thing here. However, lower targets for this. Pretty much boom, boom, boom. Simple, easy trade on this. UOCHF, pretty much just the reverse of that. We trace back up to this one. So we're currently just waiting for a break of the higher low here. Having a little bit of whatever structure here for an entry signal and then take it to a downside. And I want to say, I forgot which one this is. Daily area of interest. So if we're looking at daily here, we could definitely be targeting this area here because it does look like it's a strong level of area of interest here. You could target this, but I wouldn't go so far. I could just foresee this doing that thing where it just goes down to a previous structure point here, has a little stop, but for me, this is absolutely plenty. Because if you were to take the trade, let's say right here, you have your stop. I don't know, let's say here. And you do that, and suddenly you adjust your position with an entry signal that I have. That looks like this, 3.74%. That's pretty good. That was just an example. I'm not going to drop down and actually do it now because I can't predict the future, right? This might very well, in the next candle, do that, where it looks like that, and then the trade will be invalid. Again, it's not a predictions game, it's just a game of preparation. So I prepare for this to happen. If it does, amazing, I'm prepared for it. If it doesn't, amazing, it wasn't supposed to happen, right? So no need for the 30 minutes on this. We're just waiting for the higher low to be broken on this. GDP-CHF. GDP-CHF had a little itsy-bitsy break above here. Right here. So this is to go long. So we drop down to 30 minute here. And currently we need a break of the higher low for me to start being interested in this. I mean, I'm already interested in this with the fact that it's up here, right? This is the throwaway pairs. If I look at a pair and I go, right, no. This is already sparking some interest in me, but there's several levels of interest. If, for example, on this one, where I'm waiting for the daily area of interest to get hit here, you're like, yeah, it's pretty interesting, but it's not catching my interest. I'm not sitting and watching it live or actively. It's just kind of like, yes and no, right? But this very much needs to go over here, and I don't particularly like how close we are with the higher low here, but if you do that, the voices go away. It's like when your car starts making loud noises, you just start turning up the music so you can't hear it. But yeah, our low break of this, we get that, follow the rest of the strategy. We have a trade to the upside where we're going to be taking that. This is daily area of interest. Yes, it is. Here or here. That is to be decided. If you have the trade, for example, up here, does it make sense to take it up here? Obviously not. You're going to be a little bit more risky and put it up to here. But it doesn't mean that you're going to win still. It could very well just have a little bounce back here. So it's just make sure that you're staying within the realms of closeness and possibility to the area of interest. If you're taking a trade up here because your daily area of interest was here, well, it's not relevant anymore, is it? Being, what is this, 200, 400 pips away? 250 pips away, right? It's not exactly the most relevant. But if it's like here or something, it's pretty relevant, right? It's just a little bit later. Anyways, that's that pair. This one, waiting for the daily area of interest touch. So it just needs to go in here, touch here, close inside, and we're interested immediately. Same thing here, very much the same thing. Nothing too special. This one, we had a close inside. Yeah, we already had this. So already very much closed inside, not technically, but it's pretty close to being, and in the 4 hour it did close inside. So currently we're just waiting for the break of the higher low to go to the downside. AUD, NZD, it's a good trade here, or it's a good question on this trade here. I don't like it. No, not particularly. I can't say I'm in love with this pair. Just want to check something. No, I don't like this. I'm gonna throw it this way. Why? Because that's enough reason for me to quit and throw that in the bin. I don't remember which pair that was. What was that? AUD NZD? I don't even have that marked up. Cool. Okay. The reason for this is just simply like, okay, it's not matching my strategy, because I sat there and giving it a thought, came across a new concept which was not aligning with the strategy. And I thought, well, it's similar enough, right? But it's not. If you have a card that's dark blue and blue, are those two different colors? Yes. Regardless if they're similar or not, in comparison to each other, they're similar, right? Strategy, the two are two versions of it, but on paper, without like just being separate, they're two completely separate ones. And this is a system that I have yet to test, want to figure out. I have a strategy and a system that works. And guess what? I'm not going to change it because I feel like taking a trade. It's the worst thing you can ever possibly do. Never do that. So that was USD CHF, or if we didn't go through it, break it a high low. Just needs to reach the area of interest here. Can't CHF. Just what is this for? Goodness. Apologies for the yawning. I remember this actually. Yes. Cat CHF. This was the weird one, but it's a retracement back up to the actually daily area of interest, which we had a rejection from. So currently we are actually bearish on this. Can you tell why? Because this is actually here. See, I make mistakes sometimes too. Completely normal. Shouldn't happen, but completely normal if you do. This never broke below. This never broke below, which means this is perfectly valid over here. And guess what I said to that? Fuck that. If this goes above here, I'm no longer interested anyways. If it starts doing that and then adds in a little bit of a shimmy sham here, like that, that's not happening until 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now. That's not happening. So guess what? I put not interested. Finally, finally. This here, which just needs to reach the daily area of interest here. So, boom. Like so, and we can mark up another level up just about here. This too big. Let's pretty decent actually. There. So you can actually move this over here, like so. Put the daily area of interest on that. Put the daily area of interest on that. Cool. And weekly, what does that look like? Area of interest also here. You're just watching me do it. This is just how I think. Just give me a brief moment here. Yeah, so this is just going to have to touch the daily area of interest regardless how you look at it. Black or white, it's the same thing. But that was pretty much it. 15 minutes. I expected it to be 5. But, you know, this is how it always goes with these videos. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the patience. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes, everything that you give me. Forever grateful for that. And, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.